Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. City Council will again be discussing the possible closure of outdoor rinks at tomorrow's meeting. Councillor Casey Atraney is recommending the closure of 13 of the 39 rinks effective in December. It's based on underperformance, with the recommended closures being the least used across Thunder Bay. Along with this, 3 other rinks would be downgraded to unsupervised. If approved, a report will come back to Council in December with the cost savings that would be included in the 2024 operating budget. Highway 11 is closed in both directions between Beardmore and Rocky Bay due to a flatbed transport crashing along the highway. The crash involving a flatbed transport carrying new lumber took place at around 5:30 today, closing both lanes of the highway. It's believed that only the transport was involved, but as of now, we have no word on any injuries. Traffic control is in place and the highway remains closed as cleanup continues. The North Core was bustling today as residents celebrated the fall's harvest. The Good Harvest was an outdoor farmers market that saw Red River Road filled with local farmers and vendors with hauls of fresh produce, preserves, pickle tables, and farm-themed games. Jess Clement has the story.
Red River Road was buzzing with activity as local farmers and residents came together to celebrate the end of summer and beginning of fall.
So it's our first time spilling this event out onto the street. We have about 20 vendors, mix of farmers and food producers that are set up here today. It's exciting for us because we held it indoors last year, so we thought it was a little bit more accessible and easier for the farmers to bring all their local veggies out onto the street.
The Good Harvest Farmers Market, hosted by Goods & Co. and the Waterfront District BIA, featured several food producers and farmers, including Sleepy G Farm, Bears, Bees & Honey, Baloo's Farm, Borderlands Farm, and Morning Moon Farm. Goods & Co. owner Malin Hurley says they started the event to connect local farmers with residents and the community.
For Goods & Co. Market, a big part of our mandate is food sustainability and being able to support our local food community. And I mean, being so remote in Thunder Bay, our food has to travel a long time to get to us. So I think it's just really important that we support our farmers and keep the dollars in our city and keep that whole culture of farming going.
Along with fresh local produce, attendees were also able to buy meats, wool, and other items from local vendors and play farm-themed games. The event was accepting donations for attendance, with all money raised going towards the Roots Community Food Center local food fund.
We work really hard to make sure that we can pay our participants really well, meet the living wage, have really beautiful spaces at our urban farms, and it takes a lot of fun to make that happen. So this is an event that really supports that this year.
Roots Executive Director Aaron Beagle adds that the partnership between Goods & Co., the Waterfront BIA, and Roots is very important.
I really think it's the waterfront and the other vendors that bring the crowd, because we can't do that on our own. We don't have enough stuff to support. We need all the diversity of products and vendors coming out to put their time in to do it. It's so much work for vendors to get all their stuff together, but it is that's what brings the crowd, is this venue, this location that is accessible to so many people.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
10 members of Fort William First Nation have completed an introductory carpentry training program in partnership with Skilled Trades Union Lyona. It was a 6-week course that wrapped up with the students building a shed. Jonathan Wilson has the story.
In partnership with Fort William First Nation, Lyona Local 607 hosted a beginner's carpentry training program, which taught Fort William members the basics of carpentry.
We had 10 participants, probably 98% of them had never touched a power tool before, and after the 6 weeks, they're all confidently running power tools and building with their hands.
Training manager Brian Nuglowski says they covered everything from power tools and hand tools to the different materials carpenters work with. The training program was the first one they did in partnership with Fort William First Nation, and Nuglowski says it was a huge success.
Great progress. I mean, if you take someone that didn't know the difference between, say, a drill and an impact, and then at the end of 6 weeks have built sheds with rake walls and hand-cut roofs, it's pretty great progression, right? From what I've seen, there's been great response with it to where I think we're going to introduce it more regularly into our program year.
Serena Pelche Waller says before the program she'd never built anything in her life And now after 6 weeks, she built a shed from scratch. She says the whole program was very fulfilling.
It's been fun, a lot of learning. It's a lot of hard work, like labor, but I thought it was really fun. The trainers here and everybody are really nice, and it's been a lot of fun coming every day. It's great having to look at a finished product and see like, wow, I put all that work into it, you know? Everything, like we did everything on it. It feels really rewarding.
And she has some advice for those who are thinking about joining similar programs.
I'd say just go for it. Just try it, you know? Like you're never gonna know if you like it or you enjoy doing it unless you try it. So I was like so nervous to come here on the first day. But once I was here and actually learning and doing things, it was good.
Students who have completed the course will also have the opportunity to join LiUNA's apprenticeship program. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
A Red Rock man who lives with autism has written, illustrated, and published 2 children's books. Zachary Hendricken was at the Brody Library recently for a book signing for his latest work titled The Little Bird Learns to Fly. Joe Sadowski was there and has his story.
A young man with autism, Zachary Hendricken, has found his passion in writing, and his growing success is allowing him to share his talents with the world. Although Hendricken has already published 2 children's books, there's no stopping this author until he reaches his goal of being able to buy a house on his own in his hometown of Red Rock.
It came naturally, so it's kind of something I like doing now as a new experience to achieving my goal and making my life happen very well. And I never give up on anything I put my mind to.
The little bird in Hendricken's stories is named Jason, and Zachary's mother says that his stories about Jason are his real-life experiences of how Zachary is finding his way through life.
And I think subconsciously Jason, the little bird, is Zachary, and it's how he's trying to navigate his way through life and understanding. So how he understands it is how he tries to put it into the books.
Hendricken's close family friend and adopted aunt, Jacqueline Kennedy, says Zachary wants to be known as an inspiration for other kids with autism and to make it known that despite his special needs, anyone can achieve their goals when they set their minds to it.
He wants to be an inspiration to other autistic children and parents of children so that they can realize that goals can be reached. He drives the 400 series in Toronto. He learned how to play the piano on his own. He is just somebody, he moved to Thunder Bay and he lives here by himself.
I try to help them with autism too. If anything is a problem, or if they just need help like I do, and we all work together.
Hendricken already has a few more books that are in the works, and he has another book signing near the end of the month at the Indigo on Memorial Avenue. Joe Sadowski, TBT News.
Thunder Bay resident has hit a milestone that not many are able to achieve in their lifetime, as Irene Lassie celebrated her 100th birthday today.
I like being 100. I made it. I did a lot of good things, I guess, in this life to be able to make it this long.
The party was held at the St. Joseph's Hospital cafeteria, and Lassie says her day was packed with birthday wishes from family and friends, as well as Mayor Ken Boschkoff, who stopped by the meet at Centurion. The day has given Lassie the chance to look back on her past, and she has some advice for those wanting to live a long life.
Eating good food and looking after yourself and that kind of stuff. You know, you look after whatever you're doing yourself and live a happy, good life, and that's what does it, I think.
I think we wish the happiest of birthdays to Irene. Maybe she can just celebrate all month long.
Seriously, absolutely. Happy birthday to Irene. That is
But
incredible.
we are now joined by sports anchor Joe Sadowski, and we jump to the Camera River Fighting Walleye. We're going to be talking about them a lot this season, as really they're just starting up.
Absolutely. And, you know, Saturday night they played a heck of a game. I was down at the rink, and it was very physical, too. Lots of big hits. We'll have that story and more coming up after the break.